Morning everybody, it's Hannah, one of the co-founders of Dreambakes, and we make gorgeous gourmet cakes, desserts and every kind of treat that you could want. So I'm outside in my garden today, as you can see, and I'm filming this quite early on because otherwise my pale skin is going to burn to a cinder, which is not great. I burn very easily, as you might well imagine. So as you've guessed by the title, this is the second in my series on the role of food in film, and this is about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And just to warn you, I might make a mistake during the film. I might refer to it as Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is pretty much what everybody refers to it as anyway, but it's the first film, it's the original film, the Gene Wilder film that I'm talking about. It's just because the book's called that, and I kind of can't separate the two in my mind. But yeah, I'm just going to go through the role of food, how it looks, and the role it plays during the film. So it's one of the most iconic films and very quotable films as well. I rewatched it to do this video, and I forgot how many kind of adult bits there are in it actually. Like for example, there's the ransom bit, there's a bit with the computers. I'll go into those in a little bit, but yeah, I'd forgotten how awesome it was, to be quite honest. So I'm going to focus on a few sort of key scenes through it, because some of it doesn't really bear much reference to what I'm going to be talking about and to food. So the first one, like the opening of it, is gorgeous. It was one of the main things I remembered from the film when I was a child. So it opens on kind of ripples of chocolate sort of falling softly. It's all too orchestral music. Like there's no kind of automated sounds or anything, but it's obvious that it is in a factory, and I'm assuming that it's the Quaker Oats factory, because the Quaker Oats had a tie-in to the film, which is why it's called Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, because they wanted to sort of use the film to promote their chocolate. So like they were funding the film, so like by funding it, then they can kind of use it to promote their product, which I believe it paid off. I'm not sure if the Willy Wonka brand is still going nowadays, but yeah, it as far as I'm led to believe, it did really well. Yeah, so there's tumbling cocoa beans, there's milled cocoa, there's like truffles being enrobed and things like that. And I thought it was such a stunning way to open the film, and it kind of gets the point of sort of the luscious nature of chocolate across. But it does, as I'm going to go into in more detail in a bit, it does contrast with kind of the organic nature of some of the bits of the film. And you know, the Oompa Loompas are there, and you're led to believe that they're the ones that are creating the chocolate. So I wonder, like opening it on obviously automated factory scene, like does it not kind of undo the fact that that it's meant to be created by these Oompa Loompas? I'm not sure. What do you think? So the second kind of quite important sequence to do with food is obviously the Candyman sequence, where they're all in a shop and he's singing the Candyman song, and that is just there for, like, it's pure wish fulfillment really. Like that's the child's dream, like a child in a candy shop, you know, getting set loose and being able to do whatever they want. Like they go behind the counter, like they're pulling these strips of whatever it is off there, like marshmallows are being thrown, jelly beans, you know, like I don't know what kind of business model it is, but it's a pretty bad one if that guy's expecting to make any sort of money. But yeah, it's kind of focusing on the haves and the have-nots really, and how kind of it emphasizes how desirable chocolate and sweets are. As if we didn't need to know, but it kind of underlines that, because Charlie, while this sequence is happening, he's out there staring in, and obviously he can't. Well, to be quite honest, he very well could have joined in, because they were getting all of this stuff for free. So he could have gone in the shop and enjoyed all of these things that were kind of being thrown around. So not really sure about that, but obviously it emphasises the fact that he lives in poverty. He can't afford these luxuries, these treats. And I can't remember if it's the scene right after that, but pretty soon after that he goes home and they're all having like cabbage soup, like cabbage water, and it kind of underlines the kind of luxurious nature and the excess nature of chocolate. The second one, so the next one is the chocolate room, which is amazing. Like if you remember one thing about that film, it is that. Like it's amazing. So they, after going through the complicated passageways, they come into this chocolate room, and it's kind of, it's another reason why I was in my why I decided to film in my garden today, because that is such kind of an organic, natural, open place, the chocolate room. And they all go in, and things are allegedly like growing out from the ground that you can eat, growing on trees, like the gummy bears and stuff. And it's a massive contrast to the rest of the film, really, because it is the only kind of organic thing, really, apart from the geese who lay the golden eggs, and there's some bees inside the oh gosh, what do you call it? You know, the gum that changes, the 3-course gum. There's some bees inside there as well. But yeah, it's the only kind of organic place, and there's the river that goes through it, and it's all very peaceful, and the colours are so attractive. They're very bright, very, they draw you in. And gosh, there's a lot of bees around me today, actually. Yeah, and I'm kind of, it is very confusing because, as I say, like the rest of it is automated. Like in the inventing room, you see all the different machines that he's got. There's the big one to make the gum, as I said. There's the machine that makes the lemonade. There's the Wonka Vision thing, and that's all kind of very industrial, futuristic, and futuristic. And I find it very, very strange. I'm not sure why they've made that contrast. I mean, I guess it's kind of to show how you, like, by having the mix of all of these things, you're not really sure what Wonka's doing, what he's thinking, how you can't kind of pin him down or guess his techniques or anything. But I think personally it might have been a bit more effective if they'd kind of had more of those organic elements, because, as I said earlier, like the Oompa Loompas are meant to be making these things by themselves and stuff. And obviously it'd be a lot easier to kind of imagine them as like gardeners tending these gummy bear trees than just sort of working on a production line, really. But I mean, obviously there has to be a production line by the sheer millions of Wonka bars that they send out. And then yeah, so the food, it's kind of, it represents all facets of food, really, which is quite good. So there's the positive aspect, which is seen as really exciting, really kind of engaging, really thrilling. And with what I said earlier in regards to Charlie kind of staring in at this exciting song and dance number, it kind of underlines that, and the sheer excitement, how people want to rush into the chocolate room when they immediately see it, and how drawn they are to it as well. But then it's the other side of that, excess. Like if you take it to excess, then it's seen as repulsive. Which is it's a bit of a funny line, because, you know, when they're in the chocolate room, they're sort of ripping the ears off gummy bears, and they're putting their hands inside those weird chocolate balls, whatever they're meant to be, and just kind of like smearing it on themselves and stuff. And obviously, like, the biggest example of that is Augustus. The way he kind of takes things to extremes ends in his possible demise. We don't know. Like, it is said that it's meant to be. It is said that it's meant to be. Sorry, there's a cat just walking over to me. 1 second. Yeah. So generally, if things are taken to excesses in this film, it's viewed as a bad thing. And gosh, the cat's playing with me, bless her. And she's also sitting on my notes. But the food is also used as a test in this, which is plainly obvious when it comes to the everlasting gobstopper, but also the lemonade as well. And I found that really weird. I was saying earlier, like, Charlie and his grandfather don't really have that much motivation to try the lemonade. They're just kind of like, everybody leaves the room, and then his grandfather's just like, hey, should we try some? And Charlie's like, yeah, okay. Despite the fact that if people kind of don't believe what Mr. Wonka says, then bad things happen to them. So I'm not really sure why that happens. Does it happen in the book? I can't remember. and oh, I wish you would get off my notes. One sec. Okay, I'm back. Yes, and food has shown us how desirable and acquirable it is. So all these people go absolutely mental. Bless her, she's being really cute. All these people go to incredible lengths to kind of get their hands on these Wonka bars. Even adults who obviously they never win the prizes, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, there's that scene where the woman she's waiting for a ransom call, and he says whatever they want, they can have it. And then he says they want your case of Wonka bars, and she's like. And then the detective or whoever he is says, didn't you hear they want your case of Wonka bars? And she's like, how long do I have to think it over? So yeah, it's shown as like a very desirable thing to have, and I don't know if it's meant to be like a sign of status or whatever, because obviously Charlie didn't get that opportunity. But then as soon as he finds the coins on the street, the first thing he doesn't sort of go and buy his family bread or meat or any kind of like nice food, as opposed to just the cabbage water they were having. And the first thing he does is goes and buys 2 bars of chocolate, which obviously he could have bought his family not a lot of food, but he could have bought more food with it. And yeah, it's a fun film. It's not very easy to pin down, but the main thing that does confuse me is the sort of automated versus organic. I think it's really cool though, and as long as you don't kind of take anything to excess in films, then because she's lying on my bracelet as well. Yeah, as long as you don't take anything to excess, then you should kind of manage to get through life okay. And another thing that I wanted to show you, stay there, is this gorgeous little thing that my friend Jess got me, and this is to celebrate. I can't say exactly what, but it's to celebrate an awesome, really big like commission that we're doing in September. I will say more on that, and it's just to kind of celebrate with that really, and it's super cute. I absolutely love it. And her channel is Heavy Metal Mama, and she talks about loads of things to do with her baby. She's got a 6-month-old baby, and she talks about Disney bounding. Her latest video is the sort of most essential baby items that you might not expect. So go and check her out. I'm just going to show you this little kitty here. Look at her, she's so cute. She's not my cat, she's a neighbour's, but she comes over and has a little wander in the garden now and again. Yeah, so that's my little talk through on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be on, but it'll be up soon, so come and check that out. If you want more, subscribe, click the notifications button, check out all my social media links down there, go and have a look. There's more news on events and pictures, so that's always cool. And we are the music makers, we are the dreamers of dreams. Thank you guys, bye.